I did initiate counseling. I was attacked at work driving a client in my vehicle, and I was having PTSD symptoms, and I pretty much was a mess, and I was crying a lot. I wasn't able to sleep. I'm usually a social person. I didn't want to be around people. I was super sensitive when people touched my body. Any loud, sudden noises or anyone touching me unexpectedly, I would be just startled and frightened, and I just didn't know what was going on. I would get flashbacks of this incident like several times a day. Like I even had some nightmares about it. Had trouble sleeping. Yes, this experience has been a lot different. Those experiences, I just would go in with the counselor and just kind of talk about my day, talk about what was going on. They would take notes, and then the session would end. I didn't learn anything in those counseling sessions. I just pretty much went and vented. And like I said, they would take notes, and that was it.
Because of the intensity of the symptoms that you were experiencing, I recommended that you participate in what's referred to as an intensive.
The intensive was extremely helpful for the post-traumatic stress symptoms that I was experiencing. The anger was the first that we really addressed, because I was so angry about what happened, and by the end of intensive I wasn't angry at all. The 45-minute sessions are really tough to address a lot of things that were going on. I was experiencing the PTSD symptoms, I was experiencing loss of my client, loss of my apartment, and just was experiencing a lot of loss at the time and a lot of transition, so it made sense to go to the intensive sessions because they were longer. A lot of learning was going on during those sessions, learning about the principles that I had no idea about before coming into this counseling. You said I was feeling a lot of anxiety and pressure to take the medication from my PCP, and as I started learning more about the principles, I realized that I could do it without the medication, and I really wanted to give it a try to do it without the medication because I didn't want to be hooked on this medication for the rest of my life. I wanted to give it a chance without the medication, and the intensive was a huge help to not use that medication. Or sometimes it would take me days to get over a meltdown, or I can get over a meltdown now while I'm in the middle of one. In the middle of the meltdown, I recognized I was having it and said, I don't need to listen to these insecure thoughts about sadness and angry. I don't need this. And just like that, I stopped crying, and I was in a better place. No medication. I didn't have to take Ativan to stop the attack. I was able to do it from the tools that I learned in here.
Would you recommend counseling to other individuals?
Absolutely, absolutely, especially counseling that's teaching these principles.
And why teaching these principles? Why would you recommend that?
I would recommend that because it's so important to learn how we're all using thought. I think it would be very helpful if these principles were taught in schools. If I would have learned about these principles in school, I probably would have had a much better experience in school overall and been more grateful for the school experience, because when I was younger, I couldn't wait for the school day to end. I just wanted to be done with things, couldn't wait for vacations, recess, summer vacation. Whereas now I actually am embracing school and really enjoy school.